Welcome everybody to episode 42 of the Pipala Show. Real quick before we start, I just want you to subscribe, then go ahead like the video, and then if you want you can leave a comment too. It could be good, bad, I don't really give a shit, but without further ado, Geo Chops everybody.
How we doing everybody? Nice to be on the podcast. I have never met any of these dudes before actually, so this is the first time. I'm hoping they got some good questions for me. I'm interested because they don't know much about bikes, I assume. A lot of people don't, so yeah, we'll see how it goes.
Yeah, well, I kind of got a hold of you by your Instagram. I think I saw it on like the Reels algorithm and something like that. And then I scrolled through your page and you got some pretty cool content. So I gave you a follow and yeah, here we are today. So can you just tell everybody like what exactly you do?
So I've been riding my whole life. You know, I've been posting on social media forever. And this year recently, I've really started to push Instagram. And yeah, I've been trying on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, and TikTok a little bit, but I've just been posting riding. I ride bikes, all kinds. I mean, BMX, motocross, and Harleys are my three. I do a little bit of snowboarding and stuff, but I'm just pretty much action sports. Athlete would be my description, I guess.
And when did you get into all of this? Like, what age did you start?
Right out of the womb.
Really?
2 years old, I was on a PW50. Dad had me on bikes super early. He was a pro when he was younger. So yeah, I was born into it.
What's a PW50 if you don't mind me asking?
PW50 is like the first bike everyone starts on. It's like a little Yamaha. They're about $2,000 brand new. They're sweet. I traveled the whole country on the PW50. I started really young when I was 7. We were traveling all around America racing, going to regionals and qualifiers, trying to get to championships.
Really?
Did really good when I was younger. And then when I hit about 8 or 9, broke a leg and then took some time off because my parents didn't want me to get burned out. And then was right back into it. Like 12, 13, went from like little bikes straight to big bikes. And yeah, it's just been ever since.
Was anybody pushing you to like get back into it, or was it all you? Because like I know, especially at such a young age, like breaking your leg at 8 and then parents making you take time off, like a lot, like, you know, when they say you fall off a horse, get right back on.
Yeah.
So, you know, you might get scared or anything like that from 8 to 13 saying like, oh, maybe I, don't want to do that. So, or was it all you, like just in your head, you're like, no, I can't wait to get back. Can't wait to get back.
So I've always been like gung-ho riding. All I want to do is ride. It's all I could think about. And I've never really lost that. So when I took that time off, I think before I got hurt, I think we just invested so much financially and like so much time and everything that like we all needed a little break. So like me getting hurt and stuff, I was always going to come back to it. I just think we were pushing too hard when we were young. So when I got back into it, it was good. And, you know, my parents are super supportive. My dad loves it. He's literally like an older version of me. So my mom's super supportive too, but she's kind of like doesn't want me getting hurt and stuff, which is I get. But yeah, it's just been great. I've just been going and like everyone supports it and it's good.
What's like, we were talking about this briefly before we started. I heard you say to me that your highest Instagram reel was like what, a couple million?
Yeah, so like my first viral video on Instagram was I think at the beginning of the year in March, and didn't really know about reels or anything. It wasn't really ever trying to like blow up on Instagram. Was just posting the stuff I was excited about, a lot of BMX. And that video got like just started blowing up, and I went from like I posted it and it was a video of my dad crashing on a pit
Really?
bike and my little brother hitting him, running him over like after he crashes, and he crashes too. It was beautiful video, and he came home all jacked up and he was like, dude, I crashed my brains out on the pit bike. He's like, Max ran me over. I was like, no fucking way. He's like, dude, I got it on video. So I was like, I got the video, posted it straight to Instagram. 7 million views. My Instagram went from like 3,000 followers where I was stuck at for 4 years. You know how Instagram is, like,
Yeah.
if you're not posting reels and shit now, like it's so hard to grow. It was so hard to grow. But that video brought me from like 3K to 7K in like 2 weeks.
Wow.
So that got me so excited. I'm like, all I got to do is get these crazy videos out and it'll just blow, 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 blow. So yeah, that was the first one. And then like after that, I started to like figure it out a little bit and mess with them. And then they've just recently been going really good. Now it's just me trying to film as much as I can to start posting stuff. And I'm so picky now on what I post that it's like, it's just hard to get content.
What inspired you to start creating videos about you riding?
So I've always made videos. I mean, when you're with your boys and you're about to do something crazy, everyone's filming the shit either way. So like me posting it really, like, I'm not really looking to blow up. The only reason I would want to blow up, it's not for like all the people that would know and all the people that would see it and like fanboys, and like I don't want any of that. The only reason I want the people is so other people could help me out. Like nobody's gonna give you free shit unless you got people to stand behind you. And you know, when you have 100K or blah blah blah, people want to give you shit and like free bikes, free parts, anything that you can get. They want to throw stuff at people that are doing things.
Yeah.
So like that's the whole, and like it's not to get views. It's more like me being stoked on what I'm doing, and like me going back to my stuff and looking at it as like a highlight page, versus like just like everyone seeing it. I'm glad people are stoked on the stuff I'm doing. Yeah. But like it's never for like to do the following. It's just to like to blow up, help myself. It's almost like a resume.
Yeah.
So that's what, like, it's a personal account. I'm never really posting other shit of other people. It's just like kind of my personal resume when I go into these dealerships and I'm like, I need help with bikes. I need help with this. Harleys is like trying to get these dudes to come off any money on Harleys and dirt bikes is like pulling teeth. Like nobody wants to help you out. Nobody gets it. Like it's the 21st century and like everything now is social media. Yeah. If you want people to buy your shit, if you want people to do anything, like it's all coming from social media. Advertisements, billboards, all this old shit is so outdated. Like it's so hard to get people on the new wave. So that's what I've been trying to do. Kind of showing my Instagram to a couple new people, and it's been working out a lot for me recently. I've been getting a bunch of new stuff from a bunch of people who've been sending me stuff. Pit Viper just saw a video and hooked it up, gave me a huge package and stuff.
Really?
So it's been cool, yeah.
Wow. Okay, what's that like when a big brand sees your stuff? Like, how do they contact you?
So like these big brands and stuff, like I kind of see what they're doing on their pages, and like if I'm kind of in the same boat or like have anything that they could work with, then like I'll start like pushing towards them. So like Pit Viper, for example, never really that big of a Pit Viper fan. Like I have 2 or 3 pairs, but like it was just kind of cool. They're cool to have. And so I threw one on at the beginning of the video and they loved it. They DM me and they just said, what's your address? We'll send you a bunch of stuff out. So like another company is Brunt Work Boots. Mm-hmm. So they just hit me up and they were like, they're sponsoring a lot of dudes riding Harleys and they're trying to get the videos out there because they like posting the shit on their page. Mm-hmm. So they send me stuff and I'm like, send me some stickers and stuff and I'll throw them on the bottom of the bike and I'll get you some pictures with the bike straight up and down, me wearing the boots, and like they love it. So that's what, like, just working with other companies and stuff, it's been cool. I've been doing it a lot more recently. Now that like I'm starting to grow a little bit, they're finally starting to, shit's falling into play a little bit.
That's so awesome, bro. Going back to what you said about a lot of these old dudes, for whatever the reason, they don't see social media in like the world the way we do. Why do you think that is, that they haven't caught up? At least some of them.
You know, it's like a lot of them are just outdated and set in their ways. They know what's worked for so long. And a lot of them have caught on. And you could tell exactly who's caught on because they're doing the stuff. And it's like some need help doing it. They're not doing it right, but they're still trying to do it and promote. And they're switching their ways up. But like a lot of these old dudes are so set in their ways. For example, like I just went up to the shop called Johnny Case. It's in Girard. They got $5 million worth of shit in inventory up there. They got like side-by-sides sitting on the 50 side-by-sides right in the middle that are worth $50K a piece, 100 bikes in there. And they also just dropped $500,000 on all this Indian stuff.
Really?
So I was like, I go in there. I'm like, listen, I need some bikes for 2023. I'm going to be racing nationals and stuff next year. I'll throw your graphics on. I was like, I just need a hookup on bikes. And that's not free. I'm not talking about. I just need a hookup. A little under cost is what I'm looking for. So that would be like him pulling $3K out of his pocket. When like they just spent like $500,000 on this Indian motorcycle thing in the front of their store. Mm-hmm. So like I'm like, listen, I could ride these Indians, I could ride these cows. I'll hop on the Indian, I'll ride the Kawasaki's, like, and I'll just do it all, and I'll throw Johnny K's all over everything. Really? I'm like, within a year, I'm gonna pull in at least 3 million views. I know for a fact. Yeah. Like within the year, it's I've blown way over that this year. And I haven't really been going that crazy just towards the end of the year. So I was like, I could bring in at least 3 million people just to see the bike, okay, with Johnny K's on the side. I was like, nobody wants the Indians. You just spent all this money on these. I was like, everyone's riding Harleys and stuff. So you got to get new generations on it.
Yeah.
And they're doing their old advertising and stuff, but they got no social media, none of that shit. And like I talked to the sales reps, talked to the head guy there. They said, we want nothing to do with it. Like the owner doesn't care. Wouldn't let me talk to the owner. I was like, I just wanted to pitch for him for 5 minutes. I just wanted to pitch to him.
That's ridiculous.
Wouldn't let me talk to him. So I was like, dude, it's like, they're like, he doesn't care. We've been riding for our whole lives. He doesn't help us out at all. We still pay costs for shit. I'm like, dude, it's a no-brainer.
Yeah.
Like you're spending, it doesn't matter what you spend on advertisements a year. Like that's the new way is to do it on social media. And like if you're doing billboards or flyers or Facebook ads, like you need somebody talking or riding to like show people where you got to go to get stuff. It's just like, it's really frustrating, honestly, but just waiting for those right people to fall into place. I've been going around everywhere this year towards the end of the year talking to new shops, and I have a shop right by my house called Point View Cycle that's super cool, and I love those dudes up there, and that's why I'm riding that red bike, the gas now, but I just hate the bike. And it's so frustrating because I love these dudes up there and at the shop, and they're the ones that have been hooking me up the most on prices and everything, but the bikes suck.
What's the difference between that kind of a bike and a bike that you would see as like better?
So like the gas is like kind of an off-ramp version of the KTM.
Okay.
They're pretty similar, but it's like just a little bit cheaper version.
Okay.
I just didn't want orange at all. I cannot stand riding orange bikes. The color of them, I just can't stand them.
What are the brands of each?
So like Kawasaki.
Okay.
Everyone knows Kawasaki. That's my main brand. I've been on them since I was little.
Of course.
But like I tried this year to switch back to a KTM because it's like they're right beside my house and they're cool as shit up there. So I was like, all right, if they're going to hook me up, he gave me the bike super cheap at cost almost. I was like, I'm going to try it this year, but the bike just sucked. And I like broke my ankles on it at the beginning of the year because the suspension was bad, and it's just been a constant battle. So like I'm going to have to walk away from them, and they're still trying to push me. They're like, we can get you a bike super cheap next year, but it's like I'm going to have to bite the bullet and just buy some myself.
Yeah.
So it's tough, man. Financial is the only problem I've been having right now. Just because this shit is so expensive, and like the Instagram money and all this little shit don't even come close to what I've been spending just to ride and travel. It's fucking crazy. And I don't work nearly enough to pay for the shit that I'm doing. So like the fucking credit card chain has just been bad.
Well, that's what you do in the beginning. You know, you got to push for your dream. So you got to do anything.
That's what I'm doing. Like
possible.
It's 22 now, like 22. This was my golden year. So like I turned 22 on 2/2/22. So I was like, I'm going to go so fucking hard this year. I don't care about work. I don't care about how drained I'm going to be at the end of the year. I'm just going to ride every day. Try not to get hurt. I'm just going to push all year. And it was the best year of my life, 2022. So like coming into the new year, I'm so ready to get right back into it. But now I got a fucked up shoulder, and I got to go get a shoulder surgery. Hopefully not, but maybe. And all these things are hitting me, and now I have no money to start with getting. I don't have any bikes right now, and I have no money to like get going. It's frustrating, man. I've been struggling right now, but I've been making slow, gradual increments to make things better and get new bikes. It's not moving as fast as I'd like it to, and it's really frustrating. Like not having stuff to post right when I want it, not having bikes to ride right when I want it. That's like the most frustrating thing right now. But we're making steps. It's just not moving as fast as I want it to. So it's like,
how'd the shoulder injury happen?
Shoulder was like an old bullshit injury from 2 years ago. Never got it fixed, and over time it's just got worse and worse and worse. And like now, like I was looking in the mirror the other day, and my whole biceps just rolled off my shoulder, and it's like my biceps curling up, so there's a huge gap in between, and it doesn't hurt. It only hurts. I have like 70% of my shoulder right now.
Really?
So like it's not bad enough that I would go in and get I'm like, all right, let's go get a surgery. But it's bad enough where like it's hurting when I'm working out. Like when I'm lifting heavy shit, I can feel it. So like I got to get it fixed. And it's like I'm so against sitting out for 4 months and getting surgeries if I don't need to get them done.
Of course.
Like I'll run it at 90% my whole life. I don't give a shit if it's going to make me sit out for 6 months. But like that's a problem. Because I did that with my wrist a couple years ago. I broke it on snowboard doing backflips like an idiot. And
how do you do backflips on a snowboard?
Dude, I could barely go straight down the hill, and I was trying backflips on a bunch of fireball, acting like a fool with my brother, just doing backflips. And I was doing them great, and I actually did the backflip, and then there was another jump afterwards. But when I flipped, like I would always turn, so I'd land backwards. So it was like a flip 180. And then I tried to hit the next jump backwards and go to my normal side.
Oh shit!
Upside down, right on my
Really?
wrist. Thought I broke them both, but it was just one. It was a scalpoid fracture, which is the slowest bone to heal in your body.
Really?
Takes forever to heal. It's like a 4-month healing process for just a fracture.
Holy
So they were like, I went to the hand doctor. He was like, you got to get surgery, dude, blah, blah, blah. I was like, no way. I'm cast it up. Give me like some time and we'll be good. Or no, he said, you gotta cast it for 4 months. He's like, we don't need to do the surgery yet. Cast it for 4 months, let it heal. I was like, not a chance, dude. It doesn't hurt bad enough to put a cast on it for 4 months.
Yeah.
Give me a removable cast so I could play games and shit.
Yeah.
So he gave me the removable cast. I took it off right away. I rode the full summer on it, fucking racing dirt bikes and shit, riding Harleys the whole summer on it. Pulled apart, huge gap. He had to put a screw in it.
Damn.
Dude, so pissed. I was
Damn.
like, fuck. But I rode the whole summer on it. And like, dude, I'd be racing dirt bikes and stuff, and I'd be going down straightaways, and my wrist would just give out, and it would come off the bars. And
Holy
it
shit.
was just crazy. People are like, dude, what are you doing out there?
Wow.
So when it comes to like creating content and pushing content and stuff like that, how does it affect your channel when we hit months like this, where it's, you know, we obviously live in Ohio, so it's cold, it's shitty out, you know. So when it comes to riding, I mean, how do you prepare for, I guess, the cold snap? I mean, do you shoot just so much that you have stuff to put out in these months, or is it like a slow season, or what happens?
It definitely slows down, but like, I try to film so much over summer that I'm always sitting on reels. I just hate posting the same shit. Like, even if it's similar, I hate it.
It's from the same ride.
Yeah, like even the same day, wearing the same clothes. Like, it just,
Yeah.
I hate posting the same shit. And I have so much stuff that I'm just sitting on that I haven't posted just because I'm so particular about, I want it to look better every time I post. So
Makes
like,
sense.
you have to watch it. Like, when you see chops, you know it's not going to be some bullshit. And I could do that thing with reels where I'm going and posting a bunch of old shit for 7 seconds every day till I blow up. But like, I just don't want to do it like that. So I'm kind of just taking my time with it, and it's slowing down for winter for sure. But the biggest thing it's slowing down is because I torched all the bikes this year, and everything at the end of the year is destroyed.
Really?
Harley was completely clapped out. I had 17 grand in it, sold it for 5 grand. 2020, only had 16,000 miles, destroyed. Got a brand new 450 dirt bike. Needed a top end at 26 hours. And now it's like front wheels tacoed. It's just a piece of shit. And and I owe 7 grand on it still. I mean, it's a brand new bike, and it's like in a box.
Damn.
It's crazy. And I brought it into Johnny K's, and on paper, they're like, oh yeah, 2022, 30 hours, we'll give you 7 grand for it. And I was like, all right. So I brought it in. The fucking thing wouldn't start pulling it off the truck.
Oh,
Wouldn't start.
no.
So I bumped it in the parking lot out there, like rode it up to the door. He was like, I saw you doing that, dude. I was like, just take it. They're back there for 30 minutes. He's like, dude, this ain't worth 4 grand. We don't want it. So I'm like, fuck. I almost had a deal wrapped up. I would have had some new bikes last week, and they're like, yep, not happening.
Damn.
Like, this thing's a piece of shit. It's a liability.
Damn.
So yeah, man, that's the biggest thing slowing me down is not having the bikes right now.
Damn.
But I'll have them soon. It's just frustrating right now. I'm going to have to do this. I'm going to have to see what's up with the shoulder. But the reels, like, I've just been kind of chilling. Huh. You know, I'll step away from riding a little bit. I'd like to post some different stuff, like, not that doesn't have to do with riding. Maybe like some.
Is there other stuff you're interested in, like other than riding? Like what else, hobbies or shit you're into?
Like, I love fishing, but like it's hard to post shit about that. Like,
yeah.
I love fishing, snowboarding. I do a lot, man. Anything with the motor, I'm having fun in. I mean, it's just like, I don't know. It's hard to post about a lot of that stuff though. Like, especially when you're not doing it just by yourself.
Yeah.
Or like, I don't know. I feel like bikes is really the only thing that like I could enjoy posting about, like, because that's the only thing I'm really getting stoked on. I have fun doing a bunch of shit, but like to post, like if I caught a big ass fish, like a 200-pound catfish, I'd make a reel about that or something. But like, as far as posting and stuff, I've just been focused on the bikes. That's it.
Well, especially how you gained all your followers too. I mean, it's still, is that your personal Instagram, or you have two separate? So it's all your personal. Yeah. So I mean, you could post, you know, life events and shit like that, but you still have like 13K, something like that on there. So I mean, you got to think half of it's from your niche of riding and stuff like that.
Mostly
so,
all of it. Yeah.
Right.
I mean,
so I mean, that's probably what everyone's following you for. So
yeah, exactly. So it's hard to switch it up.
Right.
Yeah.
I want to know this because you're talking about amassing all of these eyes through the reels, getting millions and millions of views on them. Are there any people that like treat you different that you knew beforehand, before you had like this account and this traction versus after, like right now?
So I never really see that, or like, because like I don't really talk to that many crazy, or like I don't really go out and like, I'm really social, but like it's kind of always been like that. And like, not like I'm really popular, but just like everyone knows me. And like when I go downtown, or like when people see me that they don't, like I've always been like cool with everybody. So like,
Yeah.
so it's been cool. So I've never really noticed like a change. Nobody's like, holy shit, dude, you have 13K. You're fucking crazy. No, it's like my boys, like they're excited for me, and like they're watching the journey too. And like all my OGs were like those 3,000 followers before any of this happened. So
Yeah.
like those those Instagram followers and shit, I feel like every 10K you get, 3,000 are like real people, or like at least people that are engaging and like actually commenting real things, or like actually are interested in your life, versus like, oh, he posts cool shit, whatever, follow him. It'll just be one of the thousands in the feed.
Makes sense.
So like to notice like people coming up to you that you don't really know, it's like, it doesn't happen very often. Skate parks and stuff, my name's super known just because I've been riding so long. And like, I'll go to the skate park and all the kids will know me, and like random people that I don't know will know me. And like motocross is like a tiny bit like that, but not really. The Harleys is starting to get like that, but the BMX is really like where everyone knows my name. The
Really?
skate parks, the local skate parks, like Wedgwood Ramps, grew up there, like done every competition, spent so many hours in there. So everyone that like rides BMX in the area knows me. And the skaters, like everyone that went to Wedgwood, like Justin Frankfurt, all those dudes.
Yeah, I know Justin.
I mean, those are all my boys, and I've grown up with them, literally. Like at the skate park, we were all there when we were 13, drinking Dr. Pepper and fucking shit up. And like Danny, especially, Danny's a little menace. And like a lot of the dudes that I hang out with now are like still dudes from the skate park and shit. Those are all my boys. Like Johnny Arnell is one of my homies that I've just been riding with forever. And like this year, I got him on a dirt bike, so we've been going crazy all year on the dirt bikes. It's been good though. But like people knowing me, I mean, it's always kind of been like that for skate park stuff, but like just off the social media. So it's like everyone around here really loves this shit. Like everyone that knows me before I started doing the shit loves the Harley shit, especially the dirt bikes. They've always known I've done the shit forever. They're like, yeah, it's cool, but whatever. The Harley shit really started taking off, and people started like always asking me about it. And like people I know are always just like kind of mind blown that I'm doing the shit. And they're like, dude, this shit is crazy. Like every time I see a video, just fucking be careful, man. And like dudes I went to high school with are telling me like, dude, I really like you, bro. Like I would hate to see something happen to you. I'm like, dude, just let me ride, bro.
I feel the same.
Yeah, it's like,
I saw one of those videos where like you had a wheelie and then you went back, and I was like, how the fuck does he
man.
do that?
What do you think the craziest thing you've done? I mean, it could be BMX ride, like anything. In that instance,
so probably the coolest thing this year for me was the shows in Geneva I did on the Harley. So like last year I went and I started riding the Harley, and I started doing wheelies and shit like in my road by myself. And like a couple of people told me about some dudes that were really good about around here. And like those are my buddies that I ride with now. But like I went up to Geneva and I was already doing wheelies and shit, like really basic, like popping it up for 50 feet and setting it down. And I went up to Geneva, and they're doing shows up there right on the strip. Badass. Like they got it all fenced off. You got this little row where they're just doing shows. Wow. So I'm like, all right, that's sick. So I go up to them before the shows and shit. I'm like, yo, like, can I hop in the show? Like I could do some wheelies and stuff. They're like, no liability. Like you can't just hop in. You got to be invited and shit. So I'm like, all right. So I watch the show, and these dudes just absolutely shut it down. Like so sick. It was like the most excited I've ever got watching something. So I was like, I set a goal right there. I was like, next year, I'm going to be on it. I'm doing the shows next year. So I went out, sold that bike, got a brand new bike from the dealership, dropped all the money I had into it, and just started practicing, riding, posting, riding, and like started riding with those dudes that were doing the show that I just thought were like absolutely insane. And then like started like learning from, they were teaching me everything, and just started clicking so fast. And it's just like by the end of the year, I felt untouchable on the thing, and I still feel untouchable on the thing. And I was going down to Harley Davidson in Austintown a lot and just spending hours there by myself. I would fucking go there, burn off a whole tire, sit there for an hour, burn off a whole tire, ride it home on a flat tire, all the way back to my house, do it the same next day. So I spent hours in that lot by myself. And Justin and all them were there. Spencer and all them did a car show there.
I remember that, yeah.
I did some donuts and shit, and they were
Really?
tripping. Yeah, I came and burned it down. So yeah, it was just, I spent so much time. And then right before the shows in Geneva, there was a show in Canton. They were like, yo, come down. Seth said you can come ride. It's one of the dudes that run the show. And then at the end of the show, he was like, yo, dude, you're coming to Geneva with us. Be ready. And I was so
awesome.
fucking excited. And dude, it was the coolest weekend of my life.
Really? What was it like?
So I walk in there, I bring the bike, I bring a book bag and shit. We have no idea where we're staying. Like everyone, they already got rooms and shit. I'm like last second, book bag, ride my Harley to the shows in Geneva with my bag full of shit. I have my dad bringing like 15 tires up in his truck. And we get there. And he was like, dude, this is about to be crazy. He's like, save your bike because we got a full weekend. And he's like, you're not going to buy a beer the full weekend. He's like, get ready. So like, we just start riding and doing the shows. And like everybody in Geneva just treated you like rock stars.
Really?
Like nobody didn't spend $1 on drinks. The governor or like the mayor of Geneva, his son was like with us a whole weekend. Cool as shit. Drinker, like giving us shots, let us buy all of our shit on his tab. It was just the coolest thing ever. And then like, so we would ride all night and then we'd start the bikes up and there's still like the bars are right beside the strip where we're doing them on. So like we'd start the bikes up at 12 o'clock when we were all drinking and just go out there, burn a tire off at midnight, smoke the whole side of the strip out.
Damn.
And the governor's son or the mayor's son's like, yeah, like loving it. Dude, we were getting on golf carts at like 4 a.m., driving past the cops, running over cones with the mayor's son. It was the craziest shit of my life, dude. And it was a full weekend, and the bike barely made it. We did a competition between all of us, the same dudes that were in it last year, and I pulled a second. So that was crazy. It was just so cool. I got 500 at the end of the weekend to give me $500 just to burn tires off and talk shit and ride the full weekend. It was awesome. It wasn't even like the money. That was just a bonus, but like such a crazy experience for everyone to treat you like rock stars. Like these are the riders. Like they could do whatever they want. They're like, it was just cool.
Yeah,
all my boys came up to watch. It was like the end goal for the year. Like practiced my ass off all year. Now everyone can get to see it, to come to Geneva, and it was it. And it'll be next year, hopefully the same exact thing. And like we'll be able to do some shows this year starting off. Got to get my hands on another Harley though. That's what I've been working on.
Cool.
Dude, I'm at the point where I'm about to trade my testicle for a Harley.
Really?
Dude, I want one so bad. I'm losing my goddamn mind, dude. All these dudes in Florida are fucking never stop riding all year. They're still posting every day. So I get on my Instagram, I just see riding. Everyone's doing shit. I'm like, fuck. I'm losing my mind in Ohio.
Well, I get it, first of all. I always wondered when people when they do wheelies on motorcycles, have you ever fallen off? Or is that a dumbass question?
No, it's a super good question. And like a lot of these dudes watch these videos and they want to go out there and learn the shit fast.
Yeah.
And they get broke off bad as hell because you got to have basic bike control before you even think about doing any of this shit. And it's like the motocross background and the BMX background made like the Harley click so fast. I didn't even have to think about it.
You've had that stance for a while.
Yeah, like that's with anything though. Like even in all these new riders that want to hop on dirt bikes and shit, and they want to go and they're watching Instagram videos of dudes killing it, and it's like, dude, so frustrating when you watch a video yourself and you look like a dumbass. I even do it, and I'm like, I feel like people are like, dude, you're fucking flying out there, and I watch the videos, I'm like, what am I doing? Like I can't even post this shit. So it's like these dudes watching this stuff, and you want to push it because I do the same thing. And like everyone's getting broke off. And you ain't going to last at all if you get broke off. You loop out one of those Harleys. That thing's down for fucking 2 months trying to get parts for it to get fixed. Like you can't break shit like that or you're never going to be able to ride. You loop out one time and you're like, I've never looped out a Harley. Went too far back and throw the bike. Never one time.
Really?
And I've done this year, dude, like 10,000 wheelies.
Really?
Never looped out one time. I've had sketchy moments where like go back too far, smash a brake, smash down, or like get sideways, almost hit the guardrail and come down, but never fell. I fell twice this year on the Harley. One was in the lot at Harley doing donuts, and I came out too far and it just high-sided me. And then one, I was in freaking down the street, and one of these communities that have a lot of cops acting like a fool, sliding back and forth.
Oh no.
And the tire got too hot and it caught. And just tossed me doing 30. And like bike was like, I rolled right out of it. There was a dude, it was like 2 a.m. I was leaving a party. There was a dude sitting outside of his garage. And he heard me coming down the street. I mean, when the thing's on limiter, it's like the loudest shit you've ever heard. You can hear it coming from a mile away. So he was sitting and he saw me crash right in front of him. And he comes out. He's like, what the hell, dude? What are you doing? And I was just like, dude, I got to go. He's like, come inside. Like, take a second. I'm not going to call the cops. Take it. I was like, dude, I'm out. Rode home. It was good. I like cut my foot open a little bit, but no injuries really.
What was the worst injury that you've ever had?
Oh man, dude, I've had so many. It's not even like, as far as like time and like most inconvenient would probably be the wrist surgery, just because it sucked everything you need your wrist for. And it's like, couldn't do push. I'm finally getting to the point where I could do push-ups and shit without going on my knuckles because this wrist hurts so bad. But like, dude, it's been so many things. I broke my left arm like 5 times. Right arm, I got a piece of bone floating around in my elbow right now that I got to get operated on. It's like I'm constantly just walking around fucked up.
What's like the most painful one?
So a lot of this shit, when you get hurt that bad, like you really don't feel shit. You know stuff's fucked up, but your adrenaline's pumping so fast. And the time they get you in the ambulance and the time they fix everything up, you're already on meds. And like the pain afterwards when they got you set up with however you're healing, it's like, it's never really been unbearable pain for anything. You know, like I ripped off the bottom of my heel and I had to get a bunch of shots in the bottom of my heel. And dude, that was probably some of the worst pain I remember. They came in, gave me 8 shots around my heel and then like 4 in the middle where I ripped it off at. Dude, I mean fucking agonizing pain.
When you say you ripped off your heel, how
Dude,
does that happen?
I jumped something on a BMX bike, shoe came off, slid my foot on the ground, didn't even think about it. Put my shoe back on, was like went back up to do it again. It was actually at Wedgwood. It was jumping the parking lot from outside the McDonald's down to that like, I don't know, stupid shit. Just acting like a fool. We were young. And I put my shoe back on. I'm like, what the hell? It's wet. Just dumped blood out of my shoe. Went back to Wedgwood. I'm like, my foot. They're like, come on. Put a freaking napkin on it, duct tape my whole foot. Dude, we went to the hospital, and like the skin that I ripped off was on a flap. And I pulled the duct tape off, and it just peeled the whole flap back. And dude, I go in there, and I'm like having the lady look at it. She's like, all right, you're going to have to pull off that tape. I was like, no, that's the skin, man. She's like, that was a nasty one, but... Yeah, I broke my knee.
How'd that happen?
That was broken leg when I was younger. I can't even think. Like, I've broken so much shit. I fractured both my ankles at the beginning of the year. It's just like constantly, like, there's always something wrong.
But it's all been worth it.
Yeah, like, I mean, my back's really bad now and shit, and like, it's starting to catch up to me.
Really?
And like, I've been noticing, yesterday I just went to this BMX competition. It's very rare that I go somewhere. Not like tooting my horn, but like it's very rare I don't walk out at least like top 3 for something or like with a trophy. Like just felt like absolute shit on the bike. And like I'm starting to get this mind block. And I don't know if it's just me not being in shape and healthy right now. Like I haven't been working out or doing anything really that productive because of my shoulder. It's been bumming me out. And I haven't been on the BMX bike that long, but it's always like I could drop it for 6 months, hop on it, and I'm back on my game. Mm-hmm. But it's like I got on that bike yesterday and I just had this mind block. And it was like, I don't want to hit the ground. I don't want to hit my face. Like there's a lot of concrete here. I can't be fucking around. And it's like, I've never thought like that in my life. So I don't know if I need to fucking meditate or something, but like that mind block is what gets you hurt. And like when you're hesitating about stuff, it's like, that's what fucks you up. You can't hesitate. Yeah. So I don't know, man. I feel like it's kind of just because I haven't been doing as much as I like to right now and haven't been riding as much. My body's not 100% right now. But like the Harley, I'm untouchable. I feel great. I never second guess anything. Dirt bike, I'm still like that. But the BMX was like my main thing for a lot of years. Yeah. And I'm starting to get hesitant about things because I don't want to hit the ground and it's messing me up. So I got to rethink some things, figure out what's going on. But it's frustrating. when you get on that shit and you're watching dudes and you know you could do that shit and you know you're a little better than a lot of these dudes, but it's just not clicking. So it's not often, but like I've been feeling a little crazy lately on the BMX bike, and I've been taking some fucking slams. So I'm like, I've been leaning towards the dirt bikes and the Harley lately.
That's good.
But I like to I think I'm just going to get to the point now where like I'm not doing anything that crazy on the BMX bike, just jumping really big and being really smooth. That's always been my thing. Always going, never really that crazy of tricks, but like jumping higher than everybody and making everything look effortless. That's what like I try to specialize in.
How easy is it for you to get girls because of this?
So I got a good looking girl right now that she's really taking up all my time. She ain't gonna let any of that happen, but they love the Harleys and they love
Really?
the dirt bikes and stuff. Yeah, the BMX, I mean, fuck, nobody cares. The girls don't care about that, but they like the Harleys for sure. And which is funny actually, because my girl right now hates the Harleys. She thinks it's dumb as shit, and she's like, that's not gonna get you. And she's like all gun ho about motocross.
Really?
Which is like, motocross is cool, but like the Harleys, if you want some girls, I would get on a Harley.
Huh.
Or street bike. I mean, it doesn't have to be a Harley.
Are you comfortable sharing past experiences and stories about that topic, or not? If not, no big deal. I got more
What
questions.
about like girls and Harleys?
Just about previous experiences relating to girls liking the Harleys.
So I ride a stunt bike, okay? My Harley's set up to stunt ride. I mean, the back seat, it's got a back seat on it, but it's a tiny. And it's like, you got to be bear hugged around me to get on it. And your feet are like on some sketchy, rickety pegs that I drilled through the side of the bike. So it's like, you don't want to be on the back. And I've had at least 20 girls this year ask me, take me for a ride, take me for a ride, take me for a ride. And my same answer every time is like, you will never want to ride a bike again if you get on the back of this thing. And I haven't taken any really. So, but I mean, they want to. I've just always been occupied, man. I'm like, it's a stunt bike. I don't need a girl on the back of it. I don't want to get a girl hurt.
Yeah,
So,
you're cautious.
Yeah, and like when I get this new bike, I plan on like, you can always like throw a sissy bar on them, which is like a backrest for them. So you can always make it comfortable for a girl to sit on. Like I plan on like, my girl doesn't want to at all, but I plan on getting a sissy bar and shit and taking her on rides and stuff, which is cool. I could just take her to like Geneva or something, rip off the sissy bar and start doing wheelies and donuts. That's what's sweet. So cool. Like, yeah, so it could be a happy in between. But like the sport bikes and shit, these girls getting on the back of them. And like I've been seeing videos all over Instagram of these dudes riding with these chicks and them hitting the fucking ground hard. And it's like, dude, what, like, you're fucking crazy. Could you imagine this chick coming home to her parents and saying she wrecked on the back of a motorcycle?
Yeah.
Like, I don't want to be a part of it.
The impact alone on their heads too when you hit the ground,
dude,
it's not safe.
It's like they're all wearing booty shorts. The skin
For the
goes
clout.
so fast, dude. It's miserable. Road rash is the shittiest thing you could have.
What's road rash?
Road rash is like road rash from the concrete. Like falling on the concrete, skin in your knee.
I'm retarded. I'm sorry.
Dude, like you do that shit doing 20. I mean, you're fucking miserable.
Skin goes quick.
Dude,
very quick.
Jeans go up like 0.2 seconds.
Right.
Really?
Jeans, it goes through jeans in 0.2 seconds.
Holy shit.
It's like your ass is grass.
Is everything, is every like a kind of material kind of dead at that point?
Yeah, like I mean, if you're wearing fucking leather, it'll save it a little bit. But
yeah.
I mean, I'm not gonna ride around full leather doing fucking wheelies.
Yeah,
Like it's
no
dead.
reason. No reason.
I mean, yeah, I feel like I'm dialed in enough, and I know it will eventually bite me, and I'll loop out, and I'll fucking have some road rash all over. But like, I'm t-shirt and jeans, and high top Vans.
Exactly.
That's what I ride in on the street bike, and usually I have a sweatshirt on or some shit because it's so cold around here.
Yeah.
I mean, it's cold. It's 70 degrees. You're on the street bike. You're cold. At least me. I got no body fat. I'm so skinny. That's just, dude, I'm shivering when it's 70. Second that the sun drops, freezing.
I bet.
It's fucking terrible. Dude.
I bet. How fast do you typically go on these things?
All right, so I started on a Gixxer 600, which is a crotch rocket. That's what like Danny has, I think, that white one. So started on a Gixxer. My parents were always like, no street bikes. That's not happening. And I was like, oh, okay. So I brought home a really shitty one to start with. They were like, whatever. It was really slow. It was Yamaha Virago. And then I came home with the Gixxer 600. They were pissed, but I was like, whatever, it is what it is. And they let me have it. So I started getting dialed in. That's what I started doing wheelies on. which is like super. I mean, they're fast. They'll do like a buck 40, but it's like it gets up to speed really fast, and you're
Really?
screaming them. 600s are a super fun bike. The most fun I've ever had on a street bike, but they're so dangerous. Like, I was getting so comfortable. I was doing wheelies. Another thing is like when you do a wheelie on that thing, you start off at 30. By the end of the wheelie, you're doing 100.
Really?
Yeah, like versus the Harley, I'm in first gear the whole time. The fastest I'm doing is 30.
I see.
I can start off doing 5 miles an hour.
Yeah.
And I just roll, and I'm sitting there doing 30. So I loop out. I'm getting a little messed up, but it ain't like you're not falling doing 100. You ain't dead.
Yeah.
I mean, you could still die on some stupid crap, like hitting your head the wrong way, but like the crotch rockets are so dangerous, but they are the funnest thing in the world.
Really?
Are you a helmet rider?
Yeah, absolutely. I've had so many head injuries that it's just, I'm maxed out on head injuries. That's why I have that fucking block with the BMX recently, because like, dude, I hit my head. I've had 2 major head injuries, and like brain bleeds, fractures in my face, and fucking skull. Dude, it's like
How do you come back from that?
really, really tough. So like head injuries are one of the worst things you could have. I should have said that when you said injuries.
Mm-hmm.
One of the shittiest things to come back from. And it's not like your physical healing always heals fast. Your face, I feel, heals especially fast. But like emotionally and like mentally, it's so hard to recover from. Like I hit my face at Woodward, this big BMX competition. It was like it was this big Vans Pro Cup in this concrete bowl. Did this big ass air and fell like 25 feet straight to my face. Bars broke. Didn't even cover my face because the bike broke. Just went straight to the ground. 10 fractures in my face, 30 stitches on my forehead. Like disgusting. Broke my 2 front teeth.
Jeez.
10 fractures in my, dude, it was bad. So I wake up and like you snap out of it. You're in this kind of like coma where you're not really there. And then like I snap out of it. And that was twice I snapped out of it. And like it's always scary because some people don't snap out of it. And like you get stuck in that like jacked up stage where like you're there, but you're not there. Not vegetable. I don't know. It's crazy. So like after you wake up, the weirdest shit would like just make me emotional. Like I'm such an unemotional dude. Like just a normal, like don't give a shit about anything. And like shit would make me emotional that like I would start raging about stuff all the fucking time. And it would just be like super hard to deal with simple things that like shouldn't be making you that mad. And that takes 6 months. Like you feel out of pocket for 6 months. It's crazy. And it's so like you could start, and like my family and friends were starting to notice it. And they were like, dude, you're so fucked up. Like what's going on with you? And then like as you heal, like people are starting to notice that like I'm getting better around me. And like short delayed memory loss, like remember people's names and shit, out the fucking window. Can't
Really?
remember a goddamn thing. It's like, it's crazy. And like, I can't remember like so many childhood memories that like people tell me stuff that we did. And I'm like, dude, I couldn't tell you if we did that for $1 million. Like I couldn't name one detail about that.
Oh,
Crazy.
shit.
It's nothing to fuck around with, man. And that's why like a lot of these action sports athletes hit their head so hard and the shit don't catch up to them till they're 40. So it's scary. You definitely want to take care of your head. And I push that to all the little kids I see. Everyone that's trying to ride Harleys, everyone that's trying to ride dirt bikes is cover your fucking dome. And it's not going to affect you till you're screwed. And it's like, everyone's like, oh yeah, I know, I'm not going to fucking hit my head. But like, dude, one shitty head hit and you're retarded.
For real.
Like it's scary.
When did you always wear a helmet or no?
Yeah. But like the BMX, I don't wear a full face helmet.
Yeah.
I just wear the fucking skate helmet. So like you still hit your face.
Yeah.
Which is like, it's shitty to put on a full face because then you restrict your seeing and you can't really see shit around you or like, but like I'm about to the point now where I'm like, I'm about to just face up. And as long as my head don't get hurt, I don't give a shit what happens to my body. You could fix that.
Exactly.
But like the head is the problem. So that's my main goal is just keep my head safe. This year I've been really like big on buying new helmets. You hit your head in a helmet really hard one time. The foam and shit cracks in it, they're useless. They're junk.
Really?
You got to throw the shit away and get a new helmet every year.
Makes sense.
Yeah, I mean the helmets are pricey as shit too. They're like $600 for a freaking dirt bike helmet, $500 for a street bike helmet.
Sheesh.
But they're sweet. I mean, new helmets are so nice too. They're so cool and they're so good now. Like the street bike helmet I have is sweet. It's like a modular, so it comes down and you can flip up the whole top,
Okay.
so your whole face is out, or you could just put up your visor and leave the bar down. So
That's
they're
cool.
sweet. Yeah. So it makes shit easy and like I don't even have to take it off. I'm in the gas station. I can just pull it up and talk.
Huh.
And you could put Sennas and shit in them now. It's like these
what's a Senna?
Bluetooth pieces.
Oh,
So you could listen to music, answer calls.
shit.
They're sweet. It's just
Wow.
big money. Everything's
Yeah.
expensive. as
Makes
shit.
sense.
Yeah.
Did you have a question? I saw you
No.
getting the mic. Okay. You mentioned how you're like in all these tournaments. How far has this take you? Like, what was the furthest tournament that you participated in?
So I did these BMX events a couple years ago that I was traveling all the Midwest kinda and just running these
shit.
different events. And that was the year I won everything.
Really?
Won everything, all 5 competitions for the Midwest. They were amateur shit.
Still.
It wasn't all pros, but it was cool. Yeah, there were still like some pros from each one showing up here and there. And I won everything. And that competition that I hurt my face in was like the last one of the year, the biggest one, the best riders. And I was feeling good, man. I was just on top of the world on the BMX bike.
Yeah.
And I remember having a weird feeling about that day and like woke up in the hospital 2 days later, got a life flight, fucking, that was it. That's
You got
what
a
I
life
remember.
flight?
Life flight in my ass. They were like, so I went back, I healed, went back to the same place, went to the same bowl where I got hurt and was just sitting there and like taking a couple runs and just trying to get that block out of my head. Because
Yeah.
like it's fucking there, man. When you see where you hit the ground and it just made you took 6 months out of you, and you're like, it's definitely like it hits you a little bit. And I've never been one to like dwell on shit like that. So I go straight back to the spot where it happened, and I'm like, I'm gonna hit it hard. I'm gonna do the same shit I just fell on, so I can get it out of my head. So like I was doing that and shit, and a couple of dudes came up to me. They're like, "You're not the dude." I'm like, "Yeah." They're like, "You're the dude that fucking crashed here, dude. We were pulling you out of the bowl. We didn't know if you'd ever be the same again." They're like, "Your shit was so messed up." I'm like, "Yep, I'm back." And then I won the high air comp, won all the shit that weekend. I was back. But like ever after that, like all the time, I just feel there's just a little block right there where I remember that hitting that concrete, and I'm like, dude, fuck, I don't want to do that again.
Where was this at? This one
Woodward, PA.
Okay.
You know Camp Woodward?
I do, yes.
It's like the craziest. There's a bunch of gymnasts there and shit, and like people go skateboard, rollerblade.
Yeah.
It's like the ultimate playground. They have 10 different skate parks, most beautiful scenery you ever seen. It's like right in the mountains in PA. It's just the coolest spot. And every time I go back, I win the high air comp, and they give me a free weekend there. So I go back as a visiting pro. So
That's
I'm
cool.
staying in like, everyone else is staying in like these shitty cabins where everyone's like sitting bunk to bunk to bunk, and I'm staying in the pro cabin where we got our own refrigerators, TV. It's sweet.
That's
So it's
so
been
cool.
cool as shit. And like every time I go, I'm always staying with the visiting pros. So like last time I was there, I was with Anthony Panza and all these dudes. They were smoking blunts up there, lighting fireworks off in the building. They almost kicked us all out because they were lighting fireworks off in like this 800-year-old barn, which we were all staying in. They're like, dude, you guys are going to burn the shit down. What are you doing? It was crazy shit.
So I know you mentioned something about being like burnt out of Ohio and stuff. Do you have any like plans to like take this elsewhere? Any other place you want to live? I mean, anything
Yeah.
that's tying you here, other than like family and stuff like that.
Yeah, so pretty much family's the only thing holding me back here right now, and like the family and friends, obviously. But I mean, I don't hate Ohio. Like I know everyone's fucking gung-ho on Ohio fucking sucks. There's no opportunity here. There's opportunity everywhere. You kind of just got to do it yourself. Yeah. And you got to make shit happen. And like you could do it anywhere because there's a bunch of people doing the exact same shit I've done that have pulled out of Ohio. But it's like, I would love to just go out to West for the winter when it's shitty here, and I could do all the same shit I'm already doing. But in California, I have a bunch of homies in California right now. My buddy Dave, who does all my drone edits and shit, completely killing it this year. Just blew it out of the water this year, filming Post Malone, all these crazy race cars and shit. But we started last year filming here. And now his shit took over. He's gone. He's making fucking money. He's doing his thing. And he comes home every time, never charges me for shit, and we just film like old times. It's sick. But he's pretty much famous.
That's probably going to be our
sounds like
producer
our
over
producer,
here
yeah.
pretty
Yeah,
soon.
I mean, dude, that's how it goes.
Bro,
They fucking take off.
Yeah.
But like, yeah, dude, it's cool. And it's cool to like know him because when he comes home, he could still work with you and show you how to make your shit better, and it's sweet.
Yeah.
That's what me and Dave are doing now.
That's awesome.
So like, I would love to go out to California and do with my boys. I was supposed to go out there with Giorgio Polis.
We know who he is, yeah.
Yeah, and I was supposed to go out with him, and we went down there and checked it out. And we just had, not really a fallout, but we had a little bit of argument about some stuff. And it was just, we didn't have enough money that we wanted to. But I love the dude. He's doing good now, so it's good
Yeah.
to see. But I just never made it out there with him. But I was supposed to be there all this year, which I'm kind of happy I didn't because I had such a great year here. So like, I kind of feel like I was meant to stay for now, at least.
Yeah.
There's still stuff here that's untapped.
Yeah, exactly.
For now, at least, definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. In that opinion, or when it comes to that, I do like Ohio. Don't get me wrong, but it's kind of like the same thing. Opportunities here are kind of like, when it comes to making content, it's iffy because most people aren't geared towards making content when it comes to BMX, Harleys, riding, anything like that, or like stuff that's comedy based for us. Like, there's not a lot of people here that are actually really like committed to this shit. You know what I mean? So it's hard. I definitely get what you're saying for sure. Our market, if there even is a market, it's not really tapped at all. I feel like it's just starting to come up, and it's very hard to get traction. Have you found ever? And I asked this of people that like have built platforms like similar to you or want to at least. Have you found like there's like an opposition when you're coming up from people, whether it be friends, family, that say like, oh, you can't do that, or why would you do that, or you should be doing something else, like getting a job or going to college?
Yeah, so definitely, I mean, not haters, but people that want to give their insights because they know shit has worked for so long and they hate to see people change it. And you know, I like the constructive criticism. I like to hear it, but like I usually don't listen to it. I like to hear it though. I mean, everyone tells me, and my girlfriend especially has been telling me all the things that I shouldn't be doing. But like, and my dad too. My dad absolutely loves this shit. But he like, every time I'm doing something stupid that like, he's like, dude, you gotta chill out. Or like, he watches the shit and he's so stoked on it. But like, he's also like, dude, this shit's so dangerous. Like, you're crazy. What are you thinking? And I'm like, it's good. It's good. It blew up. It don't fucking matter. It's done. So like, you're always gonna have those people, but like, never people that are like giving me shitty like fuck you criticism. You know what I mean? Like, dude, this shit's stupid. Why are you risking it like that? It's always like, it's fucking cool, but it's just crazy shit. Yeah. And like everyone, friends, family, everyone's telling me the same exact stuff. But I'm just in my head, I know exactly what I could do, and I know exactly where I could be. And it's like, I'm going to do it either way. It doesn't matter what you say to me. It don't matter if you're my girlfriend, my dad, anybody. Yeah. Jesus, I'm going to do this shit. So that's where I've been. And I've always followed that attitude. And like, that's where I'm at now. And like, I've been good.
It's paid off very well so far.
So far.
Yeah. You mentioned your dad had a background in this whole thing. What exactly, like what extent of a background does he have?
So he raced professional his whole life and shit. And then he broke his neck.
Oh shit!
Had a terrible injury, yeah, but he's the GOAT, man. He's the exact version of me. So it's been so awesome. Like that's
like living through you almost.
Yeah, and it's
that's
so
awesome.
dope to go home and like show him the shit that I'm doing and I'm filming that I'm stoked on because he's just as stoked about it. And it's like same with my friends too. It's constantly me just like look at this shit, look at this shit, look at this shit, and they love it. So it's cool, man. I got some really supportive people around me, and I love it. And like the hardest thing is just getting people to film shit and stuff. Like I'll do this crazy shit every single day. Just put a camera in front of me and I could think of something that'll go viral. You know what I mean? I just need the bikes and I need people to film. And that's what like I've been working on this year is trying to find, Dave was doing it for me for a long time, but he's more just drones. And now he's out in California. So it's been like trying to find a filmer that doesn't just want to film because they're trying to make money and like, but likes the actual shit. So Spencer's been filming some cool stuff for me. And like every time we get together, it turns out to be cool as shit.
He's a really cool guy.
Yeah.
Very
Spencer's
talented.
Cool as shit. I love all those dudes, man. And it's like, it's cool to get with new people and film with stuff they've never done before.
Yeah.
So they're stoked about it. And it's just, it's cool.
You know Austin too?
Yeah. So
Yeah.
I just met Austin actually, but like, yeah, I met him. We filmed a little bit jumping off some cliffs. Were you there for that?
No, I wasn't there for that. I couldn't make it for that.
Yeah, but we did some cool shit out there. It's fun, man. It's a good group of dudes.
Those guys are really creative. One of the few guys around here that like I said, like actually are like passionate about their shit so much that they're willing to do anything to accomplish their dreams.
Yeah, and I love that.
Yeah.
They're all about it. And like any ideas you're throwing, they're like, we're with it.
They're
man,
absorbing
whatever.
it.
Yeah, and I love people that will absorb and like think with you. That's why I thought like a hype house, not a hype house, but like somewhere where just all of us could get together and be like, look, this is what we could film. You don't got to live there.
Yeah.
But like, this is what we could do. Or like, just love to get a group of dudes together that all have kind of the same ideas. And like, I've always said that. And like, just kind of push each other. And like, that's all social media or any of this bullshit is.
Yeah.
It's just like other dudes helping each other out and pushing each other and like filming the cool shit you want to, get people that are filming the same, somewhat of the same shit as you, and just get together and cross minds, and that's how I mean the money happens. You cross your
Exactly.
minds, and you're making shit happen.
And also, I would imagine too, you're helping a lot of people too without even knowing. For whatever reason, maybe somebody's having a bad day, or maybe they're just bored, and then they keep swiping through Instagram, TikTok, whatever, and they just see your shit and it changes their day.
Yeah. So that's what, like, for 2023, I kind of want to come out and put my face more on the internet instead of just like the cool riding and shit. I would like to, like, because really, like, if you want to have a following and if you want to do shit like this, then you have to have a face behind it. Because you could be the most badass dude. Nobody ever sees your face. You're never doing any talking, or you're never like relating to people. They're only going to do so much, or like they're only going to like you and watch so much. You have to have you just got to have a good personality, and a personality that people will watch. And I think I got that. I think I can keep people interested. Because our normal Saturday is so fucking crazy. Like, if you're filming it for a normal dude, it would just be like, you just wake up, we got 8 hungover dudes on the couch, we're all like, let's get up and go fucking riding, and like 6 of us are dying because we're all hungover, and it's like we're jumping shit and doing backflips. It's just crazy shit. And like every time Spencer comes out, he's like, dude, fuck, what a long day. Or like someone that's not used to it. We're just doing cool shit all the time, and I just think it'd be cool to film it and post it. It's just a lot of work. And I tried last year. I was like, all right, I'm going to buy a MacBook. I'm going to buy a nice computer, a nice camera, and I'm going to try to do all the shit myself. Dude, I got on this $2,000 MacBook. It was like I was like a lost puppy. Couldn't figure out how to do anything. It took me 30 minutes to make a fucking intro.
Yeah.
Dude, it's so frustrating. I sold it. I was like, I'm not doing this shit.
Yeah, it is so hard. I used to produce this podcast for like a year, probably a little bit over a year. Then I got a producer. Then had to move on from him. Went to Austin, Justin, and Spencer, and then moved on from them. They had other things they couldn't with their schedule and stuff. And here we are with our beautiful third producer and our best producer, Trey. I'm a little bit biased. Yeah, no shade to the guys that came before. I appreciate everything that they've done. But we have just a relationship that does go beyond professional. I've stuck it in once. I'm kidding. But I want to ask, you said all your guys like show up Saturday morning hungover. Like, what's your go-to Friday evening basically consist of?
So Friday evening, like all summer, we were going pretty hard with all the dudes. We were all single, just drinking, acting like fools every Friday. But like, it was never like going out downtown. It's more like just getting together at a fire.
That's cool.
All of us getting drunk and acting like fools by ourselves.
Yeah, it's cheaper.
And that's a good weekend.
Honestly,
that's like
more
a good
fun.
Friday.
More
yeah.
fun.
Yeah,
Because you can do whatever you want. You got no expectations. Like,
Right.
you just have
You
fun.
don't have to worry
can
about
pass
last
out.
call. You don't have to worry about anything.
Yeah.
It's 5 a.m. You're sitting at the fire still drinking.
Yep.
That's
So
the best.
that's like my ideal. So like now I got a girl and shit, and like slowed down a little bit, which is cool. I needed it. Because like everyone was getting so rowdy, and we had such a long summer. I needed to just kick back and relax. And all my boys are getting mad at me, and they're like, "Dude, what the hell?" I'm like, "Dude, I'm just relaxing. I'm trying to get my money straight, my bike straight for this year. Everyone's on my case. It's been crazy. So I've just been kicking it. I'm trying not to drink it all during the weekdays,
That's good.
which is hard when all your whole crew, the only thing to do around here is drink at night.
We used to consistently get fucked up on this podcast every Tuesday night.
Dude, it's like fuck, man.
I will not say. Yeah, I won't even say about after. But yeah, we made it home. I also wanted.
The worst was the night that I showed up from the bar. I showed up from the bar, started doing a podcast, then we left here, kept drinking on the podcast. We left here and went out to the bar.
Mind you, I was drunk too at that point. It was.
I went downtown for a buddy's birthday party. I was like, oh, I'm only 10 minutes away. I knew that they were shooting this. I was like, I don't think I'm going to be able to make it tonight, whatever. And then I called in. I was like, nah, I'm gonna come. And like, it was like, you guys
Not in that way. He didn't come in that way.
You guys were only like 20 minutes into the episode. And I was like, yeah, I'll stop by. So I showed up, sat on the couch. It was a shit show.
No, it was fun.
Luke was like, you want to go? You want to go out? And I was like, yeah.
Well, because my girlfriend was there. And so you already know how that goes.
Yeah, oh yeah.
It's one of those things. Okay, so all the stuff that you do, I also wanted to ask you this. We briefly talked about this before the podcast, but all the stuff that you do, it would be hard to imagine that you wouldn't garner any attention from police. What was like a bad encounter, if you're comfortable saying?
I have so many. I gotta take a pee though. We
Go
gotta wait,
ahead.
because
We
this is gonna
can
be
take a
long
break.
one.
I just got the last question to ask you, and then you can ask us questions. Yeah. So, what was like your worst run-in with the authorities, if you mind answering?
So I can't say anything that's gonna interrogate me.
Don't.
But I mean, I've had a lot of them, and with the Harleys especially. I mean, they hate it, but
Of course.
I mean, I try to keep it to a minimum, obviously, because I don't want to get in trouble. But I mean,
disturbance calls and stuff like that. Do you get those?
oh yeah, fuck yeah. I mean, they're at the fucking house twice a year, but it's like they can't really do anything unless they see it.
Right.
And it's like the Harley stuff. You know, I'm never really causing trouble with traffic or like shit like that. It's just like noise and strips on the road and smoke. That's the biggest problem. But like the dirt bikes and the BMX, never. BMX occasional running with crackheads or like Karens and like
The crackheads.
the Harley stuff though. The cops are on my case about it, you know,
Really?
and that's kind of why one of the reasons I had to get rid of the bike I had now, because it was so hot around here that like every time people seen it, they're like, they know exactly who I am, they know who's riding it, and they know I'm fucking shit up on it. So it's like, it's hard when like you have a bike like that, and especially when you have a bike and you're posting everything you do on social media. If they find the shit and you're already in trouble, like it's bad news. And like I just got into a little bit of trouble on it. Did a donut around a gas pump while there was dude, we were getting fucking gas and we're going to Geneva, and there's a cop on like two gas pumps over. I don't see him. I just do a donut to turn around to get out of the gas station. Just real quick.
Yeah, quick.
Fucking pop it.
Harmless.
Starts running after me and shit. I dip. Okay. Dude. They're all chasing me and shit. I'm out. I get away. Blah, blah, blah. They post us in the news looking for us.
Hold on, this is locally this happened?
Yep. Post us looking for us. Don't ever find me. Don't ever come to the house. Don't see nothing. So I'm like, I'm starting to archive shit on my Instagram. I'm tripping. 2 months go by. I'm like, all right, I'll archive everything. We're good to go. Got pulled over. They had to put a warrant out for me. Yep. Fucking took me in. It was some absolute bullcrap too. Like, there was like 5 of us. We were all doing the exact same thing. I'm the name that got bitten on. And so I'd pay the price, man. It cost me the Harley. So now I'm sitting at a point now where like I'm still gonna do this stuff, but I just really got to minimize how much trouble I can get in for doing this stuff. Like try to do everything in a lot where there's no people, or like I could get away with it, you know. And like Harley has been super supportive, and they've been letting me ride it whenever I want. And like I can come in business hours and they let me fuck around where people are back there, and they come outside and watch, and they're cool about it. It's sweet.
Yeah.
And I built up a relationship with a lot of people where like I can go there and do the stuff I want where nobody's going to bother me.
That's good.
Yeah. So, but like when you're with 20 dudes and you're going down 224, I mean, dude, the temptation to not be 12 o'clock the whole time with like, dude, it's tough, man. I've had a lot of problems with it.
It makes sense. It's right there for you.
Yeah. So you just got to be smart, and you got to minimize how much trouble you can get in, or like you got to think about when they're chasing you, is it really worth the trouble that I'm going to get in for afterwards?
Yeah.
Versus just taking the reckless op charge. But you don't want anything.
Yeah.
Like,
what's that like though, getting away like that? Like,
dude,
what's that adrenaline rush?
they can't touch me. Nobody can touch me on the street. Dude, I mean, I always said, like, you give me fucking a crotch rocket 1000, I could rob any single bank you want, and I'd be gone in a fucking flash. A helicopter won't even get me. I'm telling you.
Bro, I love watching those street chases.
Dude, I'm the worst one. Oh my God, dude. If I could have some of the shit that I've done this year on GoPro, I mean, it would just be mind-blowing.
Do you wear a GoPro when you ride, or have one on the bike
not
or anything
really.
like that?
You know, putting the shit on your helmet, that weight resistance is annoying. Right. And like every single GoPro that I've had, it's always been trouble trying to get it to stay on and film when I wanted to. So I've just haven't. And I wish I would have, because they're dope to have and it's dope to see what you've done. And I wish I would have had some of the stuff I saw in front of me. In Daytona, I watched this dude crash in front of me and just fly 50 feet in the air into a creek right in front of me.
Oh, fuck.
Didn't have any of it on video. I mean, so much crazy shit. I almost ran over my buddy this year when he's crashed doing 40, sliding back and forth. I have it on video, but it's not a GoPro video. It looks like shit. It was a snap. But yeah, it's just, I wish I would have, and I will probably this year a lot more. At least wear a chest mount or something.
Yeah.
it's just like, God, you have so much extra footage of shit that's just like, don't have space for. There's nowhere to put it. I can't upload a 30-minute video of me riding onto my phone to edit it because it takes up 60 gigs and I have 0.5 left to work with. Dude, that is the biggest problem. Trying to edit these fucking reels. Instagram's taking up 30 gigs of data on my phone.
Shit.
For like 6 reels I have in my drafts.
Damn.
It's crazy. You guys don't deal with that shit?
I bet they're all 4K, first of all.
Yeah, which is another shitty thing with Instagram. Like, half the shit you post. Well, first of all, was the biggest thing. Like, if you're taking shit on camera, if you're posting shit off a camera, then Instagram won't push it because they want iPhone clips.
Yeah.
They want you to film it on Instagram. They want you to post it on Instagram, and they're going to push it on Instagram. They want it to all be off the iPhone. So when you're posting these 4K ass videos off your camera, even if it's a full screen, they don't do shit. Don't matter how good it looks. I post so much dope shit with me and Dave filming GoPro clips of the Harleys with the drones. Coolest shit you'll ever see. If you scrolled past our reels, you'd be like, damn, still don't blow up.
Huh.
I swear it's from the camera thing. I think they changed it now so they want more 4K and shit on there.
That's
and they
good.
want people filming because I've seen a lot more of it now. But like recently when they first started, it was like, it sucked. You couldn't film anything on a camera because no matter how good it looked, they didn't do shit for you for Instagram.
Huh.
Yeah, I know. And that's the biggest thing. That's why I bought that MacBook. So I was like, I'm going to upload all my shit I film off the iPhone straight to the MacBook. I ran out of fucking storage on the MacBook. It was like a 512 gigabyte MacBook. It's out of storage already. I'm like, dude, this thing's junk. It's useless. Dude, I mean, it's fucking crazy. You need external hard drives, all this shit that I know nothing about and I don't want to fucking deal with. I just want to ride.
Would something like Dropbox help you in that scenario or no?
Yeah,
No?
but like,
No.
even like Dave, so Dave fills all my stuff and he has all the clips, all the SD cards and shit. And like, he always goes back to California now.
Yeah.
Just Dropboxing a fucking 30-second video is like dude, so you can't. Degrades quality and like your phone doesn't want to download it. It's such a hassle. And dude, we filmed all those fights. I don't know if you ever heard about those fights that I threw.
Yeah, I did.
Dude, you
With
Was that back in
about
high
that?
school? Was that back in high school?
no,
Dude, we did one last September.
COVID. With
What was
Santisi.
it?
Not last September.
Santisi was
Yeah,
in
yeah,
one,
yeah,
correct?
yeah.
I remember seeing that. I was like,
Was
fuck, I never
one
got
of
the
the
Backyard
invite.
fights.
Yeah.
Were the Coutures in it?
Yeah, no. They were there. They weren't fighting it.
Nobody
was-
fought-
that
I
would've-
feel like I remember seeing
My main card this last fight was Giorgio was supposed to be in the main event fight.
Okay.
Then Javante and Matt Mace fought for heavyweights. And then I also fought these two younger guys.
Was that there was that dude, I think his name was Regal. Was he in one of them or no?
Reinhardt.
Yeah, I think that's his
I
last
fought
name.
Reinhardt. So we did 3 total. The first 2 I fought in.
Oh, shit.
And
Did
the
you win
last
against him?
one-
Because Dave graduated. He graduated with me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I won by split decision. I didn't knock him out. But I was beating on him. He was kind of just taking it.
I saw that shit though.
Surprising
Yeah.
because like half those guys that you just named are like old high school wrestlers. that are,
Yeah,
like-
so he was
Yeah.
a wrestler. So
he,
I was like,
he still
more
does.
UFC.
He wrestles in college.
Yeah, no, he was a tough ass dude.
Yeah.
He was letting me just beat on him, and he was just taking me to the ground every time. It was cool. But like the last one, my wrist was hurt, and so actually, my wrist was hurt, and the fucking main event card didn't show up to fight Giorgio, and that was what everyone wanted to really see.
Oh shit.
So I was so fucking pissed, and he like told me the whole time he was coming, blase, just never showed. So I was like, dude, I had $700 on someone to get in the ring with them for 2 minutes. Fucking run it. It was 3 minutes. 3 45-second rounds. 3 45-second
Yeah,
rounds, 15
quick,
intermission.
quick.
Nobody would get in for 700. I was like, I'm wrapping up my wrist and we're fighting. He's like, no, I'm not doing it. So I just had some random ass dudes get in for $100 each and hop in. But it was so cool.
I mean, Giorgio's a psycho, so like, there's no chance.
Nobody wanted it. I was
Nobody
like, dude, you
wants
just got to
it.
survive, bro. Like,
Yeah.
get in there for 3 minutes, take an ass whooping, you get a fine, whatever.
Right.
But nobody wanted it. You get $700. They were like, yep, not happening. But it was cool. That was really good. That was the craziest shit ever.
Yeah.
For the first 2 I was fighting in, it was kind of low key, just homies and stuff. And then like third one I posted, and I was like, everyone come, we're gonna do it hard. We called Austintown PD. We're like, we're having a party, blah 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 blah. Don't come. Ran it. All the neighbors were around the fights drinking. We had 300 people in the backyards. Craziest shit you've ever seen, dude. I was collecting everyone's tickets. I freaking was the referee, the host. I got all the fighters, all within 3 days. We had 300 people back
Wow.
there. Just posted it Wednesday, said, come get your tickets, blase, blase. Now, I don't want to say it was underground fighting because it was just a tickets to a party. The fights were just for entertainment.
Right.
So, like...
No,
Don't perjure yourself.
Yeah. The fights are entertainment.
Yeah.
So, like, it was cool. And, like, everyone was having fun. It was all, like, boxes. They all had mouth guards. It was cool.
Yeah.
Coolest thing ever.
No, I saw the Snapchats and
Dude.
holy shit.
Crazy.
It looked like a hell of a time. I will say that.
I love throwing events. I love doing. I feel like I'd be a really good. If all this shit doesn't take off, I would love to just do events.
Yeah.
And like kind of throw them and host them. Super good at like bringing a ton of people to one place.
Yeah.
I'm really good at hyping shit up.
Is that something? Because I actually wanted to have like a loaded question with that, and then also like what do you want to do after this when your body can't take it anymore? Like, is that something that you would consider doing?
Yeah, so that's a good question because you get burned out on the shit. I think Harleys I could probably do forever just because it's so easy on the body unless you're crashing. But it's so easy. And but the motocross and the BMX, you have to be so in shape. And it's just like you wouldn't even think about how much of a toll it puts on your body. Just like you could be... I got these dudes that are like perfectly fit, bodybuilding, like work out all the time. Can't do 2 laps on a motocross track. Just arms are so pumped up, you can't hold on. It's crazy. It's such a different kind of endurance that it's like, it's not really like a body muscle endurance. It's just like a cardio. You're using all your muscles. So it's like you got to kind of just be good on everything.
I see.
So like as you get older, that shit really takes a toll on you. And if you're really not pushing it. So this year I'm going to try to do nationals, which is like they're 30-minute motos. And then plus 2 laps. So you're on the bike for 40 minutes. These local races, I'm on the bike for like 12 minutes at a time. And by the end of the 12 minutes, I'm fucking falling off the bars. I can't even hold on. My fingers don't move. It's crazy, dude. Because you're pushing full speed for 12 minutes, like 5 laps. But these pros are doing 30 plus 2. So it's like you're on the bike for 45 minutes. You got an hour to chill, and then you're going back out for another 45-minute moto. It's crazy. They're in the best shape ever. It's like, so you got to be so on point, and you got to be able to keep your heart rate so low to like do that shit. So you definitely have a time span, and that's why I've been pushing it hard these last couple of years, because I feel like I'm going to lose that time. Like this is the time where I'm priming like my endurance and everything, so I need to hit it.
Yeah, the body heals quickly. Still.
Yeah, so I just got to hit it hard, and like that's what I've been doing. It's been going good, but the injuries, man, that's the biggest thing with any of this shit. These action sports, if you can keep your body untouched, kind of to a minimum.
Yeah, of course.
Then you could be good. And it's like, you could be the best in the world, but if you're breaking yourself off every fucking weekend, you ain't going to do shit. It's consistency with everything. But like the injuries and like riding, especially consistency. And that's why I got so good this year on the street bike, because it didn't have any problems and I just hit it hard all fucking year. Well,
it shows, especially on the reels. You have all this traction, and you're, in my opinion, I think you're going to continue to gain traction. You mentioned how you had a couple questions for us. If you still have those questions, we'd be happy to answer them for you.
Yeah, so like I think it's dope you guys are doing this podcast and stuff. So like what's your goal for this podcast?
Well, basically we want to be on the level of something like an Impulsive, or even if we could be blessed to get the traction that Joe Rogan has. I mean, that's the guy, that's the podcast guy, that's the blueprint, something like that. We consider ourselves, both him and I, just comedians. We have stand up in our future. That's what I want to talk to you about off air. We write jokes. I want to get to doing like Key and Peele type of stuff, like skits. Even if it's like SNL type stuff, like something like that, because all the ideas I have written out on paper, like we're poised for a big breakout year in 2023. I've been doing this since 2021. I started out just filming in my car with my phone, and here we are now. It feels like we've taken such a big leap, and
it's not really a we, it's just a you. I mean, I came on really late.
Bro, it's fucking crazy. I saw him. I've known him since 2020, and about like, what would you say? How many months ago?
Probably 6 now.
It's like 6 months ago. Saw him at the Quench, and we were both fucked up. And he's like, dude, I'd love to be on the podcast. I'm into this comedy shit. Like, I write jokes all the fucking time. I was like, yeah, I'll have you on next week. So I had him on. We clicked. The chemistry was here. People said they loved us together. And he has a similar goal as me. and I think he's pretty funny. The jokes that he writes.
I've been pretty quiet this episode, but I've been letting you take over, and
this is
that
your
was-
episode.
I talk a lot.
but
man.
I was more interested rather than like trying to throw in some witty fucking dumb shit. I was just straight interested in what you were saying.
Absorbing, yeah.
Right.
Exactly, but we both have pretty much the same mindset in terms of like we want to make it as comedians, we want to make it as a big podcast, we want to blow up. Not just for us, obviously. I mean, we want as much individual success as possible, but we want to make shit that people like, Yeah. Now it's like, not to get political, which I don't want to get political, but like the amount of like political correctness and like the woke shit in like entertainment nowadays, it's kind of fucked up. I think it's retarded even personally. I don't like how people try to tell other people what to do and what to say based off like what they feel or who they vote for or what their religion is, I'm pretty open-minded in that regard. I just like to make people laugh and entertain people. And if this podcast can do that, then shit, I'm all for it.
Yeah, it's cool.
It helps you meet a lot more people too. Like,
Exactly.
I mean, me and you went to the same school, but you didn't know me. I didn't really know you. I mean, like we both look familiar. It is what it is, but obviously ran with different crowds and stuff like that. And so to see how small it is, like here almost, and like you're blowing up on Instagram and stuff like that, and we've had people on here that have a big following on different platforms and stuff. You meet a bunch of people. Like there's a good chance that without this, probably me and you probably wouldn't have met or anything like that. So it opens you up into different things, and that's what I like too, is hearing people's point of views, hearing the shit that they go through. You know what I mean? Because you go through school or you go through hanging out with different people and stuff. Yeah, what's up? We had to take a quick break, and then we started talking about Trey using batteries for his vibrating dildo and whatnot. But boys, I experienced something on Friday that I'm never going to need a woman. I'm never going to need... honestly, I might not need a job. I might not need friends. Guys, VR porn.
No!
Dude, my cousin has an Oculus, one of the brand new Oculus. Like, it's like 4K porn. Dude.
They're so good.
It is...
you've
are
tried it?
right
Not the
there.
porn, but I know the VR is so good.
Dude, the VR alone, like the 4K games and shit, like it's so realistic. And then just VR porn. Bro. Dude, there was a video with Lana Rhoades, and like you see her like on your phone and shit. It's like one thing, dude, but when it's in 4K, when it's right in front of you.
What about Skybri?
I don't know. I didn't go through all of them.
Oh, Skybri.
I didn't go through all of them, dude, but you could see everything. Everything. And it's so weird because like, so obviously whoever she's fucking, like in real life has this weird headset on for VR and like to record it. But they have to have like, I don't know. It's fucking weird because like she's obviously doing her thing, but then she like kisses him, but it's almost like she's kissing you. Like it's just so real that it's in front of you. And so we've all been in that situation where you're with a girl and like, what it's going to feel like. You're getting a kiss, you know what to expect.
Right.
Or you're getting, something done and you know what to expect, but then you're like just watching it on VR and then like you're seeing everything. So you're getting that like part stimulated, but then like you're not feeling it. So it's trippy, bro. But
do you jerk off while you...
I was in the room with my 3 cousins, so no.
So just raging wood while you're sitting there with your cousins.
It was really hard to not get a boner. Let's just say that. It was really hard.
Well, first of all, you could be with a new girl every night if you got that VR thing.
Dude, I'm gonna be. The only thing is it's like $400, but I think it's worth it. I wouldn't even play games on it. I would just watch porn.
I feel like
you could get I saw it on TikTok today. You could get like a vest that pairs up with it, so you're getting felt when they're feeling up. There's fucking pocket pussies that line up their...
Yeah, you can get the same vagina.
With the VR. Dude, I'm gonna have a full fuck setup.
Dude,
I'm not gonna need anything. I won't eat. I'll lose 40 pounds in 2 weeks because I will not get out of my room.
All you need is a girlfriend.
Why? They cost a lot of money. I spend $400 on VR. I have 4,000 girlfriends.
You just got to get a girlfriend that has more money than you have. You got to get a sugar mama.
Yeah, that's fair.
You gotta
find yourself a beautiful nurse, and then you're gonna be.
You gotta force her to buy you the VR porn.
Yeah, and then just not. Yeah.
Bye, bitch.
Yeah. Oh fuck.
I was wondering, do you guys ever go out and do like street interviews or anything like that?
Not yet. No, we haven't. This guy right here, his work schedule is very tough.
You can make fucking time for some
We will-
street
we will.
interviews
We will.
Friday
I
night.
definitely
will.
can. I
We
definitely
will.
can. It's different. Like we've talked about doing that before.
That would be, I feel like that would be a great thing to bring people in that would get you way more views than like, not necessarily podcast clips, but like just to bring fucking dude viewers in.
Yeah, for like the
and
YouTube
like,
channel.
dude, like YouTube, and then you bring people to the podcast. I
TikTok,
think that'd be a
too.
great idea.
Yeah.
Yeah, TikTok too.
Yeah.
That would work.
Yeah.
But I think another like form of just doing the podcast, you need to be going out and doing street interviews or
Right.
like just random shit that like would bring views in, and then they could watch the podcast.
Right.
You know, that would
We've
be cool.
talked about doing things that like, I mean, getting things to a point where you're trying to upsell the podcast as well. Like the podcast is something that we do, and that was like that's where it started. But then there's going to be branches to it.
Things are definitely going to happen. It's only a matter of when. I'm not one of those people that are like, oh, I'm going to do something, like not do it. We only get one life, you know, so I'm here for all of it.
Me too.
We are, sadly, almost out of time. Tracy, we have about 5 minutes. Where can everybody find you on Instagram, social media, all that stuff?
That's cool. So this went quick, man. This is
Yeah.
a lot faster. So Geo Chops on everything. GIO.CHOPZ. Pretty much all social media right now. I'm mainly right now on Instagram, TikTok a little bit, and YouTube. I'm trying to push the YouTube. But yeah, like 2023, I'm really looking for sponsorships. Anyone that wants to get together and work together, I would love to help. And I could help you. You could help me. It could be good. You know, I'm just looking for anyone that wants to get together and choreograph or like film, do anything, you know. I'm always open to new shit. And that's why like I was instant to jump on the podcast and talk. Haven't been on one of these yet, and it was cool. And yeah, I'm just excited for 2023, see what we could bring. I'm trying to get the face on the internet a little bit as much as I can in a positive note. And if any filmers out there are ready to film some YouTube and like the bikes and shit and then want to come and try it out, feel free, man.
All right. Yeah. Well, listen, I would imagine that your continued success is like guaranteed, bro. Just seeing all the stuff you put out,
Thank you.
yeah, I can't wait to see what you do next.
You too, for real. And
Appreciate
I'd love
it,
to
bro.
hop back on the podcast in
Of
3
course.
years when you guys are freaking out of the water, and it'll be sweet.
You'll be out of
It'd
the
cool
water,
to talk.
too.
It'd be cool to talk to you guys in 3 years when we're all blowing up.
Yeah,
Catch
bro.
up.
I can't wait. All right, everybody, don't get a VR headset, please. Don't lose yourself like that. Geo Chops. We'll see ya.